Hi, this is Elizabeth Brico from Healthy Places PTSD blog. I am here today to talk to you a little bit about suffering and how accepting suffering and experiencing it in a healthy manner can actually help us enjoy the good things in our lives. I was talking to some people over from Mindful Therapy Group here in Seattle for a different article I'm writing about a different subject, but then this one came up, the subject of suffering. And I thought it was really interesting and something that could be really helpful for you all here at Healthy Place. The idea is basically that suffering is something that happens to everyone. It's a part of life, and we can't avoid it as much as we'd like to. But for those of us who have PTSD, suffering has become a really big part of our lives, something that kind of takes it over to an extent that it's not healthy. It's hurting us more than it would otherwise. So a lot of times with PTSD, suffering kind of becomes stuck in our minds and our bodies, and we don't know what to do with it. And a lot of times we have different symptoms that help us cope with it, which are healthy in the short term, but can be harmful in the long term. For me, for example, the symptom that is really big is dissociation, especially derealization. I spend a really large amount of my life kind of feeling like nothing is real, which isn't good, because if I want to enjoy things in life and they don't feel real, then I can't really enjoy them. It's kind of helpful when things hurt, but not so much any other time. So the idea of using mindfulness to help us experience suffering is pretty simple. You don't have to necessarily sit and do meditation the way we see it in the movies or whatever. You can kind of just do it whenever. If you have a moment of suffering, let's say you're outside and you get really anxious, and maybe someone bumps into you and you feel like it was deliberate, and you start getting anxious about why did they do that, and that hurt my feelings, that hurt my shoulder, whatever. You can recognize that you're having these anxious, painful thoughts, acknowledge that they're there, but then don't do anything. Don't try to make them go away. Don't try to overanalyze them and figure out why this stranger did that. Don't chase them in circles as much as you can avoid it. Just allow them to be there and to exist. Eventually they'll pass, because that's the nature of suffering. Suffering, when it's not trapped in your mind and body, will pass. And if you can do that with the everyday experiences enough, it can kind of help you realize the same thing about your past experiences. And I'm not saying you can think your way out of PTSD by any means, but it can help you acknowledge the transient nature of suffering, and doing that can help you relieve some of the symptoms, which in turn helps you feel the good things in life. All right, that's it for now. Thank you.